Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so Attack on Titan, chapter 96. Gotta be honest with you, not much really happened in this chapter that was actually relevant. It was literally all flashback, basically. It was like literally just a flashback of what happened directly after Marcel got eaten by Ymir, all the way up to the point where Reiner, Bertold, and Annie, I'm sorry, it's fucking fly getting in my face, up to the point where the three of them basically joined the Survey Corps. And to be honest, yeah, it was cool to see what actually happened, to see the journey they went on from that moment. Like we knew we had like an idea of what had happened between them, like up to the point where they joined the Survey Corps. But it's nice to see actually what did go down in that flashback. But at the same time, we didn't really need this. We didn't really need this flashback whatsoever because we already knew that Marcel was eaten by Ymir. That's how she got to draw Titan. We already knew that Bertold and Reiner were the ones who destroyed the walls. That's how they got in, and we already knew that they all decided to infiltrate the military in order to complete their goal. So yeah, while it was cool to see the journey and all the struggles they went through to get to the point where they joined the Survey Corps, at the same time, to the overall story, it wasn't really relevant because we didn't really need all the facts of what happened between them. We just need to know the basics, and that was Marcel died, and Ymir took his powers. They infiltrated the wall. Bertold and Reiner basically destroyed the two walls, and they infiltrated the military. That's basically all we need to know. Now, I'm not saying that this chapter wasn't interesting. It was actually really interesting to see the three of them go out their journey, especially Annie. I really liked Annie in this chapter because this chapter basically just showed Annie is no nonsense. And alright, so Reiner, as soon as Marcel gets eaten and Ymir kills him, Reiner takes off. He fucking books it, and he leaves Bertold and Annie behind. They manage to catch up with him, and Annie starts beating the shit out of him. It's like, fuck you, you screwed us over. Because of you, we lost Marcel. He was our leader. Now we gotta go find that fucking Titan, capture it, and then we gotta go back and say we failed. And because of this, you're probably gonna get replaced. Marcel's brother's probably gonna take your powers like he should have had in the beginning, because we found out last chapter that Marcel actually rigged it so that Reiner would be chosen as Armor Titan instead of his brother to save him. And Annie's like, yeah, you're pretty much screwed. We're fucked up. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then Reiner actually comes back. The two of them start fighting, and he's like, no, fuck that. I'm taking control because if we go back and say that we lost, that we failed the mission, I'm not the only one going down for this. They don't give a fuck about us. They will take us all. They will blame us all, and we'll all be replaced. And Burnt and Annie are like, fuck, he's kind of right. All right, we're kind of screwed now. We guess we just gotta complete the mission. They don't even bother going after Ymir, as we know, because they run into her in the military and whatnot. But yeah, the three of them are like, all right, we're just gonna keep doing the mission. But yeah, I like the fact that Annie was like, all right, our leader's dead. These two are useless. I'm gonna take up the role, and I'm just gonna use the most logical plan here, which is we get the fuck out of here because our entire mission's fucked. Our leader's dead. Everything's gone to shit within the first 5 seconds of the mission. Let's just end it here and say we failed. So yeah, it was actually really cool to see the way Annie was just like, all right, I'm taking up to the leadership position. I'm gonna lead us to where the fuck we need to do, and basically see the struggle they went through to figure out, all right, whether or not they're gonna complete the mission. Now, there was one really interesting scene, and that's when they were actually breaking into the walls after Berto initially attacked the wall and let the Titans in. We saw Grisha's original wife, his first wife, like I forget the Beast Titan's actual name, but his mom. We saw her. She was headed straight for Bertold. Like she was right there about to eat Bertold. And then she just walks away. She literally walks away. And what's even more interesting before that, we see that Bertold actually saw. I don't know if he actually did see them or not. It's implied that he saw Eren, Mikasa, and Armin before he actually attacked the wall. He looked right at them. They looked right back at him. And he destroyed that wall, which let Grisha's original wife in, the Titan who actually ate Aaron's mom. So basically, it was basically just showing that, yeah, Berto's directly responsible for the death of Aaron's mom, which I guess is saying, fuck Berto. At the end of the day, he was kind of a piece of shit, which honestly, he kind of was. I know people love the character, but at the end of the day, Berto was kind of a piece of shit. I mean, Reiner and Annie are redeemable, but Berto, nah, fuck him. But yeah, that whole Annie scene where she took up leadership and the Bertolt scene with Grisha's original wife, those are kind of the only really interesting scenes in this chapter. I mean, there was a scene where the three of them were talking to this old guy and he was explaining about how he was the last survivor of his village. And then it's kind of implied that they kill him in order to, have a cover story from where they're from because he was the only surviving member of the village, and most of the people don't even know this village exists. So once he told them all the information about the village, at least enough for them to pass off that they actually lived there before the Titans invaded, then yeah, they kind of just got rid of him so that they no one could defunct their story. But yeah, it's implied he got rid of him or killed him. It's kind of interesting, but it wasn't really necessary. Which is basically my entire feeling for this chapter. Interesting, but not necessary. At least for the overall story. For this arc, it makes sense because this arc is basically about showing us just how much Reiner has changed. Not from just his initial introduction into the series, but from when he was a child where he's like, alright, I'm all for the people of Marley. I'm all for this war. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure my mom has the perfect life that she wants. Even though we found out a few chapters ago, or last chapter, that that's not possible because his dad actually does not want anything to do with them, and that's all his mom wants is for him, her, and their dad to, or his dad to be like a whole family. He even admits in this chapter that she even knows that that's not possible, but she's still holding on to that belief. So yeah, it was actually this whole arc is basically just showing just how much Reiner's changed from being the devout 100% on the side of Marley to basically saying fuck them. I'm on Paradise Island side. I'm gonna screw over this war. I'm gonna make sure they can win. So yeah, that's pretty much all that happened in the chapter. Now I'm gonna make a few predictions, not for what's gonna happen next chapter, but what I think is gonna happen in the near future for Attack on Titan. Because I have a feeling we're getting close to the end. Maybe like I think maybe another year or two of Attack on. Actually no, since it's only monthly. I say maybe like another 50 chapters will probably be at the end of Attack on Titan. That's just my prediction. But yeah, I have a prediction what's going to happen. All right, so we see in this chapter that Annie does not give a shit about this war. She does not care about the people of Marley. She does not care about the people of Ymir. She's basically in it for herself. And we saw evidence of that throughout her entire arc when they were basically showing that, oh yeah, she's a female Titan. That she does her job, but at the same time, she doesn't want to be involved in it. That she actually just wants to have a peaceful life. She wants to live out her life the way she wants to. Now, we know that Reiner is basically near the end of his life. We know that basically everyone who got the Titan powers the time they did are near the end of their lives at this point, as in Reiner have to pass on the armor Titan to hopefully Falco. But my question is Annie near the end of her life? Because she's encased in that crystal. She put herself in that crystal. So is it that she actually is in stasis so that it's not affecting her? Like the fact that she only had like a 13-year lifespan when she became a Titan shifter. Is that lifespan not affecting her anymore because she's encased in the crystal? And if so, it's kind of been implied that they're going to get Annie out of there eventually. Will she end up joining the people of Paradise Island and helping them defeat the war? Because at this point they have the first Titan. They have like the strongest Titan who can control the mindless Titans. They have the Colossus Titan. Yeah, the Colossal Titan. They're probably going to get the Armor Titan when Falco switches sides. So if they get Annie, they'll have the female Titan too, which means they'll have 4 of the Titans on their side. And yeah, it'll be in their favor to win the war. So that's actually where I think the wars or the story's going to go, where Annie will wake up and she'll join them. But yeah, that's just my prediction. I don't know if it's actually going to happen or not, just where I think it's going to go. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I haven't really made a video since Fairy Tail ended. This is my first one since. So yeah, look forward to more videos. I'm going to start reviewing more manga. Boku no Hero Academy and Black Clover. I was waiting for the 2 arcs of those stories to end. But I think next chapter I'm just going to review both of them. Going to find some anime to review. And I got some game videos coming out soon. So yeah, look forward to that. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.